So you've opened a first home savings account. That's awesome. It's a fantastic way to save for a home. But hey, it's a new account, and sometimes mistakes happen. We're going to talk about one of the most common ones, putting in a little too much money. And don't worry, we're going to show you exactly how to fix it, step by step. Let's get right into it.
Does this feel a little too real? You were on a roll, saving up, feeling good, and then you realize you might have overshot your contribution limit. First off, take a breath. It happens to a lot of people. The important thing is you've caught it, and now we can sort it out.
And you're going to want to fix this pretty quickly. Why? Because the government charges a penalty tax of 1% per month on every single dollar you're over. Yikes, that can add up really, really fast. But the good news is you can stop that penalty clock from ticking.
And here is the absolute key takeaway. While nobody wants to pay a penalty, there is an official, totally tax-free way to make this right. You just have to know the proper procedure, and that's exactly what we're here to do. So what's this magic solution? The CRA calls it a designated transaction. I know it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It's basically a special kind of withdrawal or transfer that lets you tell the government, oops, my bad, this money shouldn't be here, and I'm taking it out to fix my mistake. And you really want to pay attention to the difference here because it's huge. If you just pull the money out like a normal withdrawal, guess what? It gets added to your income and you pay tax on it. No, thank you. But if you do it as a designated withdrawal or transfer, it's completely tax-free. It's a no-brainer which one you want to choose.
Okay, let's look at how this plays out in the real world. We'll start with the most common situation. You overcontributed using cash from your bank account. So this is Christina. She opened her FHSA, put in her $8,000 limit for the year, and then maybe a few months later totally forgot about that first deposit and threw in another $7,000. It's such an easy mistake to make when you're busy. The math here is pretty simple, right? She put in a total of $15,000. We subtract her $8,000 of room, and that leaves her with an excess of $7,000. That's the amount that's getting hit with that 1% tax every month. So how does she fix it? Well, there's a simple rule. Since the money came in as cash, it has to go out as cash for it to be tax-free. She can't move it over to an RRSP, but she can take out that $7,000 excess as a designated withdrawal, and she won't pay a dime of income tax on it. Boom, problem solved.
All right, next up. What if that extra money didn't come from cash, but you moved it over from your RRSP? This changes things a little bit.
Let's meet Bailey. She decided to fund her FHSA by moving money directly from her RRSP. In total, she transferred $13,000, which, you guessed it, put her over her $8,000 limit.
And just like with Christina, the math is straightforward. $13,000 went in, she only had room for $8,000, which leaves an excess amount of $5,000. So here's where we see the mirror rule in action. Since the money came from an RRSP, the only way to fix the overcontribution without paying tax is to send it right back to an RRSP. This has to be a designated transfer. She can't just take it out as cash. And the best part? Moving that $5,000 back is not only tax-free, but it also doesn't mess with her existing RRSP contribution room. It's like it never left.
Okay, now for the one that can seem a little tricky, but I promise it's not. What if you did both? You put in some cash and you transferred some money from your RRSP. The logic is actually exactly the same. We just have to look at the pieces.
Okay, this is Derek. He put $2,000 of cash into his FHSA and also transferred $12,000 from his RSP. So altogether, that's $14,000 he put into the account. With $14,000 in and only $8,000 of room, Derek's sitting on a $6,000 excess amount. So, what are his options here? Well, because he used two sources, he actually has some flexibility.
Let's break it down. Remember the rules? They still apply. The absolute maximum he can take out as a tax-free designated withdrawal is limited to how much cash he put in. For Derek, that's $2,000. And you guessed it. The maximum he can send back to his RRSP as a tax-free designated transfer is limited to the amount he moved over in the first place. In his case, that's a cool $12,000. So, to fix his $6,000 problem, Derek has choices. He could withdraw his $2,000 in cash and then transfer the other $4,000 back to his RRSP. But why make it complicated? Since he has plenty of room in that transfer bucket, $12,000 to be exact, he can solve the entire problem in one clean move. Just make a designated transfer of $6,000 right back to his RRSP. Simple, clean, and totally tax-free. All right, so now you get the rules for your specific situation. You know what you need to do. The next question is, how do you actually do it? Well, the good news is the process itself is surprisingly simple.
It really just comes down to one piece of paper, Form RC727. You can find it on the CRA website. You just fill it out, say whether you want to make a designated withdrawal or a transfer, and for how much. Then you give that form to your bank or financial institution, and they do the rest. That is literally it. 3 easy steps. And once that's all done, you're not just left wondering if it worked. Your bank will send you a T4 FHSA tax slip. This is your official proof for the CRA showing that you've corrected the excess. All you have to do is hang on to it for your records. And that's all there is to it. Fixing an FHSA overcontribution really just comes down to acting fast, knowing where the money came from, and filling out one simple form. A small hiccup like this does not have to slow you down on your path to owning a home. Now that you've got this handled, you're one step closer to your goal.